ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। So today's verse is the 11th verse of the second chapter. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Ashocyan Anvashochah Tvam Prajna Vadan Cha भाषसे गत असून अगत असून च न अनुशोचन्ति पंडिताः। श्री भगवान् वाच अशोच्यानन्वशोचस्त्वम् प्रज्ञावादांश्च भाषसे गतासून गतासूंश्च नानुशोचन्ति पंडिताः। श्री भगवानुवाच अशोच्यानन्वशोचस्त्वम् प्रज्ञावादांश्च भाषसे गतासून गतासूंश्च नानुशोचन्ति पंडिताः। Please chant. श्री भगवानुवाच अशोच्यानन्वशोचस्त्वम् प्रज्ञावादांश्च भाषसे गतासून गतासूंश्च नानुशोचन्ति पंडिताः। श्री भगवानुवाच अशोच्यानन्वशोचस्त्वम् प्रज्ञावादांश्च भाषसे गतासो न गतासूंश्च नानुशोचन्ति पंडिताः। श्री भगवानुवाच अशोच्यानन्वशोचस्त्वम् प्रज्ञावादांश्च भाषसे गतासो न गतासूंश्च नानुशोचन्ति पंडिताः। श्री भगवानुवाच अशोच्यानन्वशोचस्त्वम् प्रज्ञावादांश्च भाषसे गतासो न गतासूंश्च नानुशोचन्ति पंडिताः। श्री भगवानुवाच अशोच्यानन्वशोचस्त्वम् प्रज्ञावादांश्च भाषसे गतासो न गतासूंश्च नानुशोचन्ति पंडिताः। श्री भगवानुवाच अशोच्यानन्वशोचस्त्वम् प्रज्ञावादांश्च भाषसे गतासो न गतासूंश्च नानुशोचन्ति पंडिताः। श्री भगवानुवाच The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Ashocyan, not worthy of lamentation. Anvashochaha, you are lamenting. Tvam, you. Prajnavadan, learned talks. Cha, also. Bhashase, speaking. Gata, lost. Asun, life. Agata, not past. Asun, life. Cha, also. Na, never. Anushochanti, lament. Panditaha, the learned. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, while speaking learned words, you are mourning for what is not worthy of grief. Those who are wise lament neither for the living nor for the dead. You can help me bring the echo down, the third from the right on the mixer. All the way down. Fully down?
Fully down.
Hare Krishna. Alright, thanks, bro. Please repeat. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, while speaking learned words, you are mourning for what is not worthy of grief. Those who are wise lament neither for the living nor for the dead. Purport. The Lord at once took the position of the teacher and chastised the student, calling him indirectly a fool. The Lord said, you are talking like a learned man, but you do not know that one who is learned, one who knows what is body and what is soul, does not lament for any stage of the body, neither in the living nor in the dead condition. As explained in later chapters, it will be clear that knowledge means to know matter and spirit and the controller of both. Arjuna argued that religious principles should be given more importance than politics or sociology, but he did not know that knowledge of matter, soul and the Supreme is even more important than religious formularies. And because he was lacking in that knowledge, he should not have posed himself as a very learned man. As he did not happen to be a very learned man, he was consequently lamenting for something which was unworthy of lamentation. The body is born and is destined to be vanquished today or tomorrow. Therefore, the body is not as important as the soul. One who knows this is actually learned, and for him there is no cause for lamentation, regardless of the condition of the material body. So, this is a twist in the direction of dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna. Suddenly, Krishna assumed the form of a spiritual master, not form, the role of a spiritual master. Because, as we have discussed many times before, Arjuna and Krishna were friends, but Arjuna, seeing that he could not solve his problems, surrendered to Krishna and accepted him as the Guru. And when he accepted, Krishna immediately reciprocated in the same way, in the way of a perfect Guru. This shows about Krishna that Krishna is perfect. As a devotee wants to see him, he will reciprocate. That Krishna has said. Chapter 4, text 11. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam stathaiva bhajamyaham. You can repeat. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam stathaiva bhajamyaham. Mama vartmanu vartante manushyaha partha sarvashah. As all surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respects, O son of Pritha. So as we surrender to Krishna, he rewards them accordingly. So, as we deal with Krishna, Krishna also deals with us like that. There is another verse. 10:9:21. Nayam sukhapo bhagavan dehinam gopika sutah jnaninam chatma bhutanam yatha bhakti matamiha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, the son of Mother Yashoda, is accessible to devotees engaged in spontaneous loving service. But he is not as easily accessible to the mental speculators, to those striving for self-realization by severe austerities and penances, or to those who consider the body the same as the self. So the karmis, they think the body is the same as the self. Very grossly in ignorance. Oh no. And a little more are those who strive for self-realization, those who understand that I am not the body, and those who try to put themselves into the discipline of austerities and penances. They are a little higher. And also yogis, they are all higher than the karmis, but still Krishna is not accessible. He is not as easily approachable. To devotees, he reciprocates fully. To others, he is not as reciprocative. And if you see this part, see, actually this was the verse I wanted to show. So this is explaining the good fortune of the cowherd boys, how exalted they were. Maybe we can read the whole translation. all the boys would be differently engaged. Some boys blew their flutes and others blew bugles made of horn. Some imitated the buzzing of the bumblebees and others imitated the voice of the cuckoo. Some boys imitated flying birds by running after the birds' shadows on the ground. Some imitated the beautiful movements and attractive postures of the swans. Some sat down with the ducks, sitting silently, and others imitated the dancing of the peacocks. Some boys attracted young monkeys in the trees. Some jumped into the trees, imitating the monkeys. Some made faces as the monkeys were accustomed to do, and others jumped from one branch to another. Some boys went to the waterfalls and crossed over the river, jumping with the frogs, and when they saw their own reflections on the water, they would laugh. They would also condemn the sounds of their own echoes. So in playing with Krishna, they did all these things. The cowherd boy friends of Krishna. In this way, all the cowherd boys used to play with Krishna, who is the source of the Brahman effulgence for Jnanis. For Jnanis, that means those who speculate about what is the absolute truth. They are called Jnanis. So they come to conclusions like this, that absolute truth must be different from the relative world. So in the relative world we find form, for example. We have a form, I have a human form, you have a human form. So in the absolute truth, it should be opposite whatever is found in the material world. So if there is form here, there should not be any form there. If there is sound here, there should not be any sound there. If there is taste, all these things that we experience here should not be there. So this process is called speculating about the absolute truth by negation. Negative. Neti, na iti. Not this, no form, no taste, no this. Whatever we find here, just negate that attribute in the absolute truth. So this is how Jnanis, they speculate. That's why they are called mental speculators. So for them, what is the highest destination for them? For them the absolute truth is the Brahman effulgence, the light. But actually they do not even know that this light is coming from Krishna's body. This is Krishna's effulgence of Krishna's body. It is so bright. So the Jnanis, they merge into that effulgence. They become, just like in the sunshine, we see the sunshine as actually it is a combination of small molecules of shining particles. That is also substantiated in the quantum physics. They become one soul. We know from the Vedic literature quoted in Bhagavad Gita, purports also. Keshagra satabhagasya satadha kalpitasya cha. I wouldn't want to digress from here. So I will show that verse later. So Keshagra satabhagasya, 1/10,000th part of the tip of the hair, that is the size of the soul. The tip of the hair we divide into 10,000 parts, that one part. So that one part will be just suspended in the spiritual sky as part of the Brahman effulgence. So for them that is the highest goal. Here in this verse, you see, the verse actually we should read. It's a very nice verse. Itham satam brahma sukhanubhutya. Oh, this is the other meter. Itham satam brahma sukhanubhutya dasyam gatanam paradaivatena maya shritanam naradarakena sakam vijahruh krita punya punjah. This verse Prabhupada quoted so many times. So the same Krishna, in this way all the cowherd boys used to play with Krishna, who is the source of Brahma effulgence for the Jnanis desiring to merge into that effulgence, who is the supreme personality of Godhead for devotees who have accepted eternal servitorship. So with Jnanis he is reciprocating as Brahman effulgence. What effulgence will reciprocate? No reciprocation. Just passive, that's all. No active involvement with them. But he is behind the scenes. He is actually enabling them to elevate to that position of Brahman effulgence. Unless he sanctions, they cannot go there also. So he is indirectly doing, just like us or even the animals. The Paramatma is there in everybody's heart. Ishvara sarvabhutanam hriddesha arjuna tishtati. But you don't find, or even humans also, we can't relate with the Paramatma. We can't talk to him, we can't, conceive him. He is silently, passively, indirectly, in a background way he is working with us. What we deserve and what we desire, he is providing. But the active participation is not there. It is not because Paramatma is not qualified. We are not qualified. This is why. So, for the Jnanis, Brahman effulgence. He is as Bhagavan for the devotees who have accepted servitorship. And for ordinary persons is but another ordinary child. This is another thing. The ordinary people, the atheists, they think, this Krishna is just ordinary child. What is so great about him? Just some made up stories. Just like Kansa was saying, what is the use of this? Why everybody is glorifying this Krishna? After all, he just lifted some mushroom. Govardhan he lifted. He just lifted some mushroom. What is the big deal in that one? Why everybody is glorifying him so in exaggerated manner? So they don't believe. They just think, he's ordinary child, just given so much hype, that's all. So for them, he convinces them, yes, I am ordinary child, why bother about me, just forget me. Because in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, what is that? Yes. (15:15) Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishto matta smritir jnanam apohanam cha vedaischa sarvairahameva vedyo vedanta krit veda videva chaham. So, mattah smritir jnanam apohanam. Mattah means from me. Smritir means remembrance. Jnanam means knowledge. Apohanam means forgetfulness. I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me come remembrance, knowledge and forgetfulness. By all the Vedas, I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of Vedanta and I am the knower of the Vedas. So if we want to forget Krishna, Krishna will give that forgetfulness. Yes, forget me. When we will forget something? No, in ordinary terms, when would we forget someone? No, even for a normal person. A person, not about Krishna, even a normal person. When would we remember that person and when would we forget that person?
Near to that person, thinking about that person, away from person and forget.
Yes. Especially no, sometimes even separation, like for example, sometimes a husband and wife, they are far away. Like many devotees, they work here but their families in either India, Bangladesh, like that. So they are far away but their affection is there, they won't forget. So when we have affection, when we have a feeling for that person, then we will remember. However great he may be or however insignificant he may be. Even however insignificant, if we have a feeling for that person, we will remember that person. But if we have no bhava for that person, however great he may be, we will forget. That bhava can be either way, either by hate or by love or whatever. Even with hate we will remember. If we really hate someone, we will remember the person very well. Even more than sometimes the person we love. So there has to be some bhava. Buddha bhava samanvita. So when the person, atheist, means he holds no bhava for Krishna. Some people outright hate him. Some people just say that he is not there. What to hate? If I hate him, I am acknowledging his presence. If I hate someone, means that person is there, no, that's why I am hating him. So these people say, no, there is no God in for. So for them, he convinces them, yes, I am not there, forget me. If I suppose, for example, say David Copperfield, for a person who doesn't know him at all, if you say David Copperfield, nothing strikes in his head. But if you show some video or something, what he does, when he does something magical, oh, that's something very strange. So immediately you will get some attraction for that person. So what I am trying to say is, once you hear about that person, you will develop attraction. Once you get to know that person more, then you will develop that attraction. So for those who are not interested, they will never contact devotees also, because if in the company of devotees you will hear about Krishna and you will be attracted. So for them it is covered. Naham prakasha sarvasya, Krishna says in the 7th chapter.
Some people coming to the association, right, of devotees. Let's say they spend some time, but they still are not interested in going. So what about those people?
Okay, first we will see this verse. Naham prakasha sarvasya yogamaya samavrata. Oh, I have to show to the live audience. Mudhoyam nabhijanati lokomam ajamabhyayam. I am never manifest to the foolish and unintelligent. For them I am covered by my internal potency, and therefore they do not know that I am unborn and infallible. So he is never manifest to the foolish. So for one who is a little more pious, maybe he will, like as you asked just now the question, sometimes people come to the association of devotees but they end up not taking it very seriously and they fizzle out. So what about them? Definitely they are a little more pious, otherwise they wouldn't have come in contact with Krishna. But the piety is not enough yet. They are not ready to take up devotional service with determination. To take up with determination, there has to be some purification. What is the verse, Yesham tu antagatam papam jananam punya karmanam te dvandva moha nirmukta bhajante mam dridhavrata. Persons who have acted piously in previous lives and in this life, and whose sinful actions are completely eradicated, are freed from the dualities of delusion, and they engage themselves in my service with determination. Dridhavrata means very, very strongly determined. That determination will come only after lifetimes of pious activities. But of course, by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, we have that facility even in this life. If we just desire so, that I want to take up this devotional service seriously, then there is enough facility for us to advance even in this one lifetime. And that is possible. But otherwise, in the ordinary course of activities, it takes many, many lifetimes of pious activities to come to this position. There is another verse also. You know which one? Bhagavatam 3.7.20. Durapahi alpa tapasah seva vaikuntha vardhmasu yatropagiyate nityam devadevo janardhanah. Persons whose austerity is meager can hardly obtain the service of the pure devotees who are progressing on the path back to the kingdom of Godhead, the Vaikunthas. So those who are not ready to be austere. In our movement, austerity is very simple. Chant 16 rounds, follow the 4 principles, no meat eating, no illicit sex, no gambling, no intoxication. And also waking up for Mangalarti, following the morning program, Morning program is Mangalarati, Japa, and then Guru Puja, Bhagavatam class, Prasadam. So this is the morning program. Even Prasadam is also important. There are etiquette in taking Prasadam also. First of all, we have to glorify that the Lord has, we sing that, we chant that verses. Sharira Vidya Jal, Jodendrita Hekal. We must learn this. And we should eat in company of devotees. Everything is there. So this is all the morning program. So we associate with devotees and perform the devotional services. So if our austerity is not very strong, then we can hardly do these things. Because to keep up with the devotees, we have to have certain amount of, eagerness to perform that austerity. Otherwise we can't keep up. And Yanisha Sarvabhutanam, when there is day for the devotee, it's night for the materialist. And when it's night for the devotee, it's day for the materialist. What exactly that means? Yanisha Sarvabhutanam Tasyam Jagarti Samyami Yasyam Jagrati Bhutani Sanisha Pashyato Muneh. What is night for all beings is the time of awakening for the self-control. And the time of awakening for all beings is night for the introspective sage. What it means here? Where the devotee is very active, in that field the materialist is very inactive, is as if he is sleeping. And where the materialist is very active, devotee is inactive. Materialist is very active in accumulating wealth, doing this, busy, talking gossip, and devotee is inactive in that. He will look like a dull-headed guy. But the domain where devotees are active, these people are completely inactive. So usually night is where you are inactive and day is where you are active. So in that way, the figure of speech is used here. So the night for all beings, that means when everybody, the domain where they are inactive is a time of awakening for the self-control. That's where they are very active, the devotees. Like, for example, devotees work. They are always engaged in something. They are always doing something. They are not sitting down, meditating. They are doing always something. It's dynamic meditation. But if you see, if a materialist sees this, he will see he is working so much, morning to morning he is waking up, but at the end of the day he doesn't even have a salary. What is he even gaining by all these things? I mean, his family connections are cut off, or so the parents are not supportive. There's disruption there, and then there's no money here, and then what is he working for? So they don't see the connect. Whereas the devotees, on the other hand, they with knowledge, they see that whatever these guys are doing, in the end is going to be useless. They are investing so much, their time, effort, emotions, their whole life they are investing in building an empire of sand castles. As the time comes, just as the tide comes and washes away everything, time comes and washes away everything. And it's useless building these sand castles. So that's what we are doing, as materialists are doing. So both of them, that's why the Prabhupada wrote an essay, Who is crazy? The materialist is saying that the devotees are crazy. Devotees are saying the materialists are crazy. Each will see each other as crazy. And Krishna, behind, he is in the background, he will convince the devotees that they are crazy, he will convince the materialists that devotees are crazy. You see how? This is ye yatha mam prapadyante tam tathaiva bhajami. As you surrender, as you reciprocate with me, I reciprocate you in the same way. If you want to see me as an ordinary person, if I am not great, if you want to know me like that, fine, I will show you like that. That's why there are so many people who say that Krishna is not God. With so much conviction they are saying. How? Unless Krishna gives them the conviction, they cannot have.
As per their karma also we can understand.
Yeah. According to their association, according to their activities, they have come to that position. And Krishna is, man proposes, God disposes. He will just sanction. He is a sanctioner. Upadrashta and Anumanta. He is witnessing and sanctioning whatever we want. So persons whose austerity is meager can hardly obtain the service of the pure devotees who are progressing on the path back to the kingdom of Godhead, the Vaikunthas. Pure devotees engage 100% in glorifying the Supreme Lord, who is the Lord of the demigods and the controller of all living entities. See, the pure devotees, if one has the austerity, then what he will get in the association of devotees? The description, the glorification of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. That is available. But if we do not have the austerity, Dridhavrata means that firm determination. For that means austerity. Vrata means, the vow. The vow can be very strongly held if one is austere. Just like Prabhupada said, that Gandhi, he fought for independence and he was very firm in his determination. And Prabhupada explained that he got this firmness because he abstained from sex life. I think it's after 36 or something. He never had sex. So that got him so much strength. By austerity one gets strength, especially for the man. For the woman it's different, it's chastity to the husband. That's what gives her, just like Gandhari. Gandhari, wife of Dhritarashtra, she was as powerful as Bhishmadev. She had mystic powers equal to Bhishmadev. But she never did all the tapasya that Bhishmadev did. He was a brahmachari, Naistik brahmachari, and he was, he was so strong in his vows. But Gandhari did not do her chastity. So, but of course, the Krishna consciousness means not that, men must follow Mangalarti, women sleep. No. That much austerity we have to do. That much we have to do. So, if the austerity is there, then we have the chance of associating with pure devotees. And then we have what happens in the association of pure devotees? Discussion of Krishna. And with that we get purified. So that austerity, that thing doesn't come if we don't have enough stock of pious activities. In fact, for many, many years, even after coming to Krishna consciousness, I was of the impression, I was always wondering why the so-called intelligentsia, the intelligent class of people, why they are not attracted to Krishna. Because this is very logical and it should appeal to the intelligent class of people. Those who are rational thinking, it should appeal to them. Why then they do not take interest? Why usually the not so intelligent, or not so, materially speaking. Spiritually, if you come to Krishna, then only you are intelligent. If you are away from Krishna, even if you are most intelligent, you are rascal number one, you are a fool number one, mudha. But materially speaking, those who are not so well off or not so high, holding not high positions in society, they usually are easier to come to the temple and associate with devotees than those high flyers who are so rational and so rich and so this and so that. Of course, the verses were there. Bhogaishvarya prasaktanam tayapahrita chetasam. Those who are attached to sense gratification, I'll show them. That is there. Bhogaishvarya prasaktanam तयापहृत चेतसाम व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धिर समाधो न विधीयते. In the minds of those who are too attached to sense enjoyment and material opulence and who are bewildered by such things, the resolute determination for devotional service to the Supreme Lord does not take place. And there was also Kunti says, this verse? So many times Prabhupada quoted. Janmaishwarya Shruta Sribhir एधमान मदः पुमान् नैवार्हति अभिधातुं वै त्वामकिञ्चन गोचरम्. My Lord, your Lordship can easily be approached, but only by those who are materially exhausted. Because one who is on the path of material progress, trying to improve himself with respectable parentage, great opulence, high education, and bodily beauty, cannot address you with sincere feeling. See now, for example, you are coming. You are here, students, no? If there is no difficulty, you will come here. If everything is very smooth, honest, good. So, Krishna sometimes gives that uncomfortable position, and that is good for us. It is actually blessing for us. Otherwise, we wouldn't be in the temple. You are looking for work, you don't get a job. What you will do with the time? Come to the temple. It is good for you. So, like that, that is there. But still I was thinking, if the guy is really intelligent, if he reads, he should. But then I heard Prabhupada lecture, and of course this also we heard, but it just did not strike to me. That one should have stock of pious activities. He should be pious enough to come into contact with Krishna. Otherwise, the so-called intelligence actually is a disadvantage. It's not really intelligence. Maya paharita jnana, Krishna himself says, is an intelligence stolen by illusion. It's an illusory intelligence. Only good for advancing the material aspect of life, only to fall into a greater illusion, greater trap of the material world. In fact, it is just like a rat or a mouse. If you put a cheese trap and it falls for it, that means actually it's foolish. He fell for the trap. So, by the so-called intelligence, we are putting ourselves deeper into the trap. So, actually it is not intelligence. Real intelligence comes with piety. That is why the Varnashram system is so constituted that irrespective of whether one is Shudra or Vaishya or Brahmana, Kshatriya, all can equally make progress to Krishna. How is it equal? Of course, the Brahmana is more intelligent than the Shudra or even the Kshatriya. But still, everybody just being obedient to Krishna, they gain that piety. Just by being obedient. That is what Krishna wants. He chose Arjuna to speak the Bhagavad Gita because Bhakto se me sakha cheti. You are my devotee, you are my friend, that's why I chose you. I did not choose you because you are learned. In fact, as this was today's verse, you are a fool. Krishna says you are a fool. But I chose you because you are sincere, you are devotee. You are submissively, submissive disposition. And that's why I chose you. Trinadapi sunichena, humility. That's what attracts Krishna. Humility. Even common day-to-day life. If somebody is humble, that actually is very attractive. If somebody just boasts about himself, everybody will just wait for when he will stop, and I can just go my path. I don't want to see this guy. It's very, very irritating to see somebody boast about themselves. So if one is humble, that is very attractive quality. So it attracts even the Lord. Not falsely humble. Some neophytes, they behave like this. Prabhu, you are pure devotee, Prabhu. You know why they say that? Because so that other person also say, Prabhu, you are also pure devotee. He wants it. If the other person does not say, I told him pure devotee, he did not tell me what is this. Next time I won't talk to this person. This kind of humility is it comes out. It comes out. So that's why what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught us, amanina manadena. Give respect to others. Don't expect that respect back. In moral education, what we learn? Give respect, take respect. But here we learn give respect but don't expect any respect. This is higher than moral studies. If I want to take respect, that means I have pride. If I even think I am anything more than the 1/10,000th part of the tip of the hair, that is pride. Yeah. If I think I am anything bigger than the 1/10,000th part of the tip of the hair, that means I am a false ego. So we should always understand it. We are actually just very, very minute. We cannot do anything without Krishna's sanction, Krishna's willing. That's why Prabhupada used to always say this, that his Guru Maharaj, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, whenever somebody asks him a question, for example, are you going to Chennai? Because he traveled all over India. So suppose if somebody asks, are you going to Chennai? And his ticket is everything confirmed. But he will say, Krishna willing, I will go. Krishna willing, I am planning to go in the afternoon. Something like this. Always, if Krishna wills, if Krishna desires. So he always puts that first. So always no arambha, no initiative from his own, only executing Krishna's order. Not that I am the doer. Kartaham means that is ego. I did this, the ego. So this is what will be lacking if a person is edhamana madah puman in this verse. Edhamana means, you see, intoxicated. Mada means, edhamana means progressively increasing. Edhamana madaha. Mada means intoxication. Intoxicated. People who have this so-called intelligence, opulence, wealth, beauty, or very aristocratic birth, Brahmin families, very, very proud Brahmin family. Don't follow anything, don't know anything, Brahmins. Very proud of just birth. What is the meaning of that birth if I don't know anything? It's like having a scholarship. You don't have to pay that much fees if you have a scholarship. So in Brahmana family, birth in Brahmana family means automatically you are given the atmosphere in which, that is why only it is respected so much. That is why it is greater than other births. But if that facility is not there, then what is the use of calling it a Brahmin birth? So, Krishna is only attracted with that humility. So since Arjuna was having that, he first of all he spoke as if he is a learned scholar, but at least karpanya doshopahata svabhava. Now I am completely surrendering to you. You instruct me, please. So that is humility. Because suppose you are a friend with someone, would you want to stop the relationship and take him as a master suddenly? It is very, very difficult. For years and years we have been friends. Like in the 11th chapter he says, sometimes Krishna, because he sees the Virat Rupa of Krishna. Then there he says, I have addressed you rashly before. I have called you friend, hey Sakha, hey Yadava. I have also, ate sometimes from your plate. Sometimes I slept on your bed. I did not even, sometimes I slept on your lap. We were so close. I was too intimate with you without realizing your supreme position. So please forgive me of all those offenses, either committed out of love or of ignorance. Arjuna says like that. So of course this is Yogamaya, why Arjuna forgot that Krishna is Supreme Personality. Not exactly forgot, but that mood. You can't be a friend of Krishna if you know that Krishna is Bhagavan. So they forget. That is Yogamaya's potency. But the point is, to turn a friend into a master, that is very, very difficult. So but Arjuna did that, and that requires humility to do. So that is why this was awarded to Arjuna. So the same Bhagavad Gita will be awarded to anybody who has the same mentality. Tadvidhi pranipatena. Pranipatena means first surrender. I think there was one incident where Prabhupada was, Brahmananda or Gargamuni or somebody, one of them, one of the two, they are both brothers, Brahmananda Prabhu and Gargamuni Prabhu. So, one of them, I think Gargamuni, if I am not wrong, he, Jai Om Vishnu Pada Parama, after the Kirtan, we say the Premadhvani. So that time everybody bows down, but he was not bowing down in very beginning years, early days. He was not bowing down, he was just standing there. Then I think his brother told him, no, you must bow down. Then he said, no, I want to feel something before I want to bow down. So later on, the brother brought him to Prabhupada. He's saying he feels that he wants to feel something before he can take up the process or bow down or do anything. He wants to feel something. And Prabhupada is saying, that's good, but you bow down, then you will feel. So that is something unique. It's not that we first check it out and everything is alright, then I will go into it. Yes, we should surrender with intelligence, that is there. But that intelligence means, surrender with intelligence means, we should take instruction. That intelligence we cannot get on our own. We should see how the conclusion. For this, actually, one must be pious enough. For example, when we came to Krishna consciousness, in your own personal lives, did you try to check out whether Prabhupada is perfect, what he is saying is correct or not? How we can even judge? We just read his books. And then we felt, it's very nice, very logical, very. But the same book may be read by another man who is not submissive. For him, he may say, Prabhupada, one person is Prabhupada, very boring, Prabhupada books. Because every time he's saying, they're coming back to the point of you are not the body. And then Prabhu told him, yeah, that point keeps coming back because you haven't realized it. You need to hear that. 1,000,000 times, even then you cannot realize. But for a person devotee, it's very, very interesting, Prabhupada's books. Cannot stop reading. How is that possible? Because of submissiveness. Lord Brahma also said, Jnana prayasam udapasya namanta eva. Give up the speculation of, speculating process. Just surrender and hear the topics from devotees. Hear the topics of Krishna from devotees. Then all perfection is there. So much perfection that you can conquer the unconquerable Krishna. He cannot be conquered, but we can conquer him if we just hear. So just imagine you all are sitting here. Just by hearing, you will be able to conquer Krishna also. And that is possible. So this is offered by Srila Prabhupada. By his mercy, we have temples everywhere and we have association of devotees. So this has to be taken up very, very strongly. Don't underestimate this process. This is one of the offenses of fifth offense, to consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be imagination. We say Hare Krishna mantra is coming from Golok Vrindavan. You chant Hare Krishna, you go back to Godhead. You chant Hare Krishna, you are with Krishna. Krishna and his name are non-different. His name is as powerful as Krishna. When we say as powerful, just imagine how powerful Krishna is by his breathing. Not his breathing, his kala. Plenary portion of the plenary portion of Krishna, not even directly Krishna. From Krishna comes the Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. From that Sankarshan comes another Vasudev, Pradyumna, Sankarshan, Aniruddha. From that Sankarshan comes Mahavishnu, Narayan, Mahavishnu. Then Mahavishnu, there is breathing. And in breathing, exhaling, inhaling, universes are created and destroyed. And in that one universe, one of the many trillions of universes, we are there. Just imagine the power of Krishna. All that is within the holy name of Krishna. But we cannot realize this. If we think, although we cannot realize, we should accept it. It is true. Only thing we are not able to realize because of our offenses. That also is explained in the Chaitanya Shikshashtaka. In the second verse. Your holy name is so powerful and you have millions of names. But I have no attraction for them due to my sinful life. So, let's take this seriously. And just like Arjuna, we should accept to be fool. Arjuna did not argue. Why Krishna you call me fool? How you dare you can call me? No, he did not argue. Disciple means he should agree to be chastised. Yes, I am wrong. Then only we will progress. He should perpetually remain a fool in front of the spiritual master. That is the qualification of disciple. As we have the other day discussed. Guru more murkha dekhi. Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, my Guru saw me a great fool. So that's how we should always feel. That does not mean that we should remain a fool. Prabhupada said, if you actually become a fool, then that reflects on the spiritual master. What kind of Guru he has? This guy doesn't know anything. In front of Guru, yes, I should be a fool. I should be always submissive. But when I go out, when especially devotees go out to preach, when somebody offers an argument, a devotee cannot say, I am actually a fool. Then that shows that we are representing our spiritual master when we go out to preach. At that time we cannot be humble. Humble in the sense, when somebody is especially offering an argument, we should present Krishna consciousness very nicely. No, I am a very fool, I am a big fool actually. I don't know anything. But to the Guru we have to say that. We have to feel like that. That song is there. Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya Koro e Dase Trinapekha Ati Hina. The next verse. Ekaki Amar Nahi Paya Bala Harinam Sankirtane. Alone I find no strength to perform chanting. I have no strength to chant Hare Krishna. Strength means not that my body doesn't have strength, I am feeling very weak. No, spiritual strength. We are talking about spiritual strength. What is that? Balahinena labhyo. There is one verse, Nayamatma balahinena labhyo. Prabhupada gave a nice explanation on that. It is said that without the mercy of Lord Balaram, we cannot get spiritual strength. And without the spiritual strength, we cannot progress in devotional life. Yes, Nayam Atma balahinena labhyo. Balahinena means without bala, without strength. So Prabhupada explained very nicely there that in the one lecture, this Vivekananda, he confused this bala with material strength. Yes, Nayam Atma balahinena labhyo, he translated as, if you don't have strength like a buffalo, you cannot advance in spiritual life. So first of all, eat nicely, exercise, become strong and stout. Then you can think of spiritual life. For poor people, feed them first. They need strength. And then you can talk to them. This was his interpretation. But Prabhupada was explaining that because he is a fool, he could not distinguish between material bala and spiritual bala. Material strength and spiritual strength. Even if you have material strength, what you can achieve? That means Arnold Schwarzenegger must be the greatest devotee. By definition, if that was true, this Arnold, these guys will be the greatest devotees. No? The strong man, they say, lifting big tires, big pulling lorries, and they should be the greatest devotees. But they are what? Fools. So this should not be strength means spiritual strength. So the spiritual strength comes from following the process given by the Acharya. So alone I find no strength to chant Krishna, O Vaishnava, you are everything to me, your mercy is everything to me. That total dependence with Guru, we must feel like that. In fact, if we don't feel like that, we will fall down. If we don't feel, if we think that, oh, I am something, I am better than my Guru, For example, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he preached all over India. But Prabhupada took it all over the world. But Prabhupada never once said that I am better than my Guru. My Guru did only in India, I did the whole world. He never said that. Only by the mercy of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur this movement is going on. In fact, he said, all of you sitting here, he pointed to his disciples, all were sitting there. All of you are sent by my Guru Maharaj. He saw that I was incapable of doing anything here. So he sent you all. You are his representatives. Without you, what can I do here in this country? We should not think that, actually true. Prabhupada could not have done anything. Stupid, that means a stupid disciple. Rascal. A disciple should understand that this is the humility of a spiritual master. The disciple should not immediately think, yes, actually Bhaktisiddhanta sent me, you better understand this one. That is useless. What kind of attitude is that? And if a Guru is speaking out of humility, we should understand that mood. Just like Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's Guru, Gaur Kishore Das Babaji. You know what he said? When I die, please drag my body on the streets of Navadvip. So that the dust, if it touches, when my body is completely covered in the dust, I may have some trace of punya, some trace of piety, so that I have some hope of going back to Krishna one day. So please drag my body on the streets of, don't offer any honorable tomb or anything or samadhi, nothing. Just drag my streets on the streets of drag my body on the streets of Navadvip. Then when he actually passed away physically, some sannyasis, they were saying, they were wanting to take the body and drag it on the streets of Navadvip. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur stopped them. What nonsense! What brains you have! You have no brains to understand this is the humility. Very nicely explained actually. You should read the life of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Very, very inspiring. So how he argued with them. And finally, he did not allow them. Of course, the question was, he asked them, alright, you can touch his body and do samadhi for him, whatever you want to do with him, provided you are strictly following the rules of sannyas. If for the past 1 year, none of you have associated intimately with women, had any illicit sex, if you did not have for the last 1 year, such a person may come forward. Nobody came forward. Okay, last 6 months, nobody came forward. Then the police officer who was there, actually the sannyas, they all bribed the police officer, saying that we are going to kill him, you don't do anything. Then this police officer came to the Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, said, Sadhu, Maharaj, we do these things, we take bribes, yes, we are corrupt, but we cannot afford to do this. To kill a sadhu, we cannot agree. So even though they are agreeing to give us bribe, but we cannot take, we are informing you that they are after you. So anyway, this dispute also came. So police was like, you are asking them this question, how are we going to validate whether they had any illicit connection or not? How are we going to validate? And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, no, I will take their word. I will accept whatever they say. But how strong he was spiritually, none of them dared to tell a lie before him. None of them dared. He said, last 3 months, last 1 month, last 1 week, last 3 days, nobody came forward. Then he silently took the body and he nicely did samadhi. So, the spiritual master or a devotee should be always, although Prabhupada is the greatest spiritual master, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also said, Senapati Bhakta, more a Senapati Bhakta. He predicted in the 500 years ago that my devotee, my commander in chief of all devotees will come and he will spread the message, this Harinam all over the world. Prabhupada is that personality. Still he was always seeing himself as a fool and nothing is working without the mercy of his Guru. And even though he made so many thousands of devotees, he never said that I trained them, I was the one who made them devotees, Of course, in some parts he had to say, I am the spiritual master of this movement, of everything. He said, that is as a matter of fact. But he never felt that inside. He always felt himself as a servant. And you all are masters, you all are sent by Bhaktisiddhanta. Seeing that I am totally incapable of doing anything in this Western world, he has sent you all to help me in this mission. So I am greatly indebted to all of you. Then when Prabhupada was saying that, the devotees were actually crying. How he is saying like this, Because they knew, we were rascals, meat eaters, beef eaters, bloody intoxicants, movenizers, every damn thing we have done. How can we be sent by Krishna or Bhaktisiddhanta or what? We are rotting in hell, he picked us up. And still he is saying like this. And they cried. So, that is, we should always consider ourselves like that. Anything, even if we achieve something in devotional service, we should never think that I achieved this, I did this, Only by the mercy of devotees I am able to do something. Otherwise, what could I have done? Actually, imagine, what could we have done? If there was no temple here, if there was nobody to train us, what would we have done? Yeah, maybe we used our skills, but that skill is given by Krishna, one thing. But if the devotees did not provide the atmosphere for me to use that skill in Krishna's service, what could I have done? So without their mercy, how could I have existed in Krishna consciousness? So we should always remember this and never think ourselves very great, So any questions or comments on this topic?
These mental speculators, all those people, Gyanis and Yogis, everybody can be who are devoid of Krishna consciousness. Can we define them as all the mental speculators?
Again, Prabhu?
All the Gyanis and
they are mental, classify them as mental speculators.
Other than who devoid of Krishna consciousness.
Yeah, so karmis, jnanis, bhakta. Karmis are absolutely just fruitive workers, they just want material activity and result of material activity. And the jnanis, they are mental speculators. Usually Prabhupada, even the bogus gurus, everybody just classified them as mental speculators, broad term. Because anyway they are speculating. They are rubbish. So
we are also learning about
No.
Krishna. So,
No. This is bhakti. When you Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, that is bhakti. You are taking Krishna's instruction. That's what we are learning. But what they are doing is, they are assimilating on their own strength. They are saying that relative world, this is there, so absolute world shouldn't be there. So their own idea. Not in conjunction with Lord's philosophy. But if we are taking, not researching, not speculating, but speculators means they are speculating. When we are doing, we are studying what Krishna is already giving us. We are not speculating. In fact, Prabhupada said to one extent that we can speculate within the boundaries of Krishna's instruction. For example, Krishna says, I am the taste of water. Now we can speculate in different myriad ways to prove how Krishna is the taste of water. That speculation we can do. But we should not speculate whether Krishna is God or not. That speculation is not allowed. That is going out of the boundaries. So whatever Krishna has said, he is the light of the sun and moon. Scientifically explain that. How this whole thing, light of sun and moon, is Krishna. How the sun and moon are the eyes of Krishna. Actually it can be explained. Like for example, unless Krishna sees something, we cannot see it. If we are seeing something, that means Krishna has already seen it. If the light does not shine upon something, we cannot see. Whether it comes in the form of electricity, which is also traces back to the sun again, because either if it is taken by solar energy or even hydroelectric energy, it has to trace back to the sun. Because if the glacier won't melt, nothing will work. So everything traces back to the sun. The sun is maintaining all life. So whatever is, if the light does not shine upon something, we cannot see it. So light shining upon something means it is the eye of the Lord. Just like that is exactly what we are doing now, what we are training ourselves to do. We eat only after Krishna eats. We see only after Krishna sees. Everything. We offer the flower and the smell after Krishna has smelled the flower. So like that. That is the whole idea. Everything after Krishna. Yes, you enjoy, but not independently, with Krishna. That is the whole thing.
But karma and jnana also included in bhakti. Actually, we are utilizing bhakti, but karma and jnana also we are doing. So why people have separated like karma and jnani and bhakti separate?
That's why there is a thing called karma yoga, jnana yoga. So if it is just jnana without linking with devotional service, then it is not, it is speculation. But if jnana is used, in conjunction with the Lord, that is yoga. So there is jnana yoga, karma yoga. Karma yoga means not that karma karo phal ki ichha mat karo. This is bogus definition of karma yoga. This is not a कर्म करो लेकिन फल के आप लायक भी नहीं हो. You are not even entitled to the fruits. That is the absolute. And who is entitled? Yajnarthat karmano nyatra lokoyam karma bandhana. You have to yad karoshi yad asnasi kurushvatat madarpanam. You have to give to Krishna. Then the result of whatever you are doing, that has to be given to Krishna. If I am working, if I am earning a salary, that has to be given to Krishna. Especially for householders, 50% of the salary actually. So that is karma yoga. So you are linking your karma tendency to Krishna. So that is. But if I am only doing karma without yoga, that is karma. So all the karma, jnana, hatha yoga, all this can become successful only with Krishna consciousness involved. But Krishna consciousness is directly the purest form of yoga. It doesn't require anything else. Anything else? Okay, there is no comments online. So we'll stop here. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Jai Gaur Premanande.